Welcome to the Roofing Business Growth Circle podcast. This podcast is all about sharing tips and tricks and ideas of stuff we know, stuff we don't know that we don't know. And my guests are all about empowering you with ideas to make sure that your business is safe, that you can grow your business. At the end of the day, you can keep your business open and make more money and get more leads, get more customers. So today, our conversation is going to be with Glen Benjamin. Now, Glen is a certified business resiliency manager offering solutions that improve business outcomes and user experiences. Glen offers award-winning cybersecurity, cloud, compliance, business continuity, and mobile mobile IoT solutions with proven ability to successfully deliver end-to-end solutions. Welcome, Glen. I see your background there. What's your background all about?
Well, as we get into this, I will be proud to say our company, Infotech, I may say that once or twice here, we are the proud cyber protect partner of a little organization that is now the two-time Stanley Cup champion, Florida Panthers. So they trust us to manage and take care of their cybersecurity and security services in general. It's a nice picture of the cup. I have somewhere in my archives, I have a picture kissing the cup, and that's like a lot of fun to show off.
Well, you're getting a little bit intimate here, right? You're sharing your emotions.
Yeah, well, if you've ever kissed the Stanley Cup, which gets polished every 5 minutes, and the photographer said, take a kiss, and I went, okay, it's a bucket list, right? This is my one shot. And I didn't realize how bad that would taste. Thank God I had about a pack of 100 mints to shove in my mouth that afternoon because it left an awful taste. But I'm never going to have that shot again. They let me do it. So we're happy to be partners with the Florida Panthers.
Excellent. So this being a roofing podcast, my question is that what are the main challenges in the roofing industry in regards to cybersecurity?
Right. Good question, and I will keep this at a very high level. We're not going to get technical, so everybody don't turn off your screens here. We're going to talk about, planning. What should a use all the time? What do you do when it comes to, and you couldn't say the word business continuity, which means how do I keep this business running regardless of an incident? Again, I won't get technical here. So it's awareness, it's understanding. You must have a plan. Because if you're a roofer and you're just going to go put shingles up there, nail it in and say, okay, I'm done, it's not really much of a plan. And as an owner, a property owner, whatever, you've got to take this into account. You've got to be able to sit down with us if we're a roofer, which we're not. But in our case, as a cybersecurity company, we want to make sure we're protecting you and what your requirements are. So I said a lot of verbiage there, but really it comes down to planning, because if you fail to plan, that means you plan to fail. This has proven itself over 40 years. I've been a certified business resiliency manager. It's all about business continuity and planning. So that's what most roofers are good at roofing, but the rest of it, this is not their thing. And I don't expect them to understand any technical jargon, which I'm going to keep to a minimum today. It's awareness, it's training, and then putting the whole solution together, which our company will manage on your behalf.
So what are the technology, what are the type of solutions that you have technology-wise?
Right. So, and again, I'm going to keep it very high level. So we do things like putting software out there on your devices, in the cloud, on mobile phones, very important, because if you're a roofer, you're on the road all the time. Are you doing something to your mobile phone that's also going to protect you? I won't get deep into that today. But what we've got to do is we will put the right type of software. We'll sit down and have that conversation, 10, 15 minutes of what are you doing? What do you expect from us? Because our job ultimately is to manage it for you. I never want you touching this, much like my wife, who says if you've got something bad on the roof, you're not going up there. call the licensed professional. I am not. If she sees me with a hammer and a screwdriver, she'll say, drop it and get away. Step away, call our roofer type of deal. So that's our job, is to understand what your requirements are and how do we best manage it on your behalf.
So how do you implement those solutions? How do you implement them?
Yeah, so most of it is really what we call cloud, which means it's out there in the vaporware. It's a secure environment where we could simply push patches to you, push software. We'll make sure it runs, it's working, and we will see it on all your workstations, all your devices. So there is a dashboard we can both look at and go, everything's green, we're in great shape. If something turns red, we're going to proactively monitor it, go try to reach that person, that individual, that desktop. So we see what's happening, and our job will be to take care of it. I don't want any of you all trying to do this on your own. It's quite complicated. It's changing on a consistent basis. And I'm sure roofers have to deal with different code that a state or a municipality is changing. You've got to adapt. That's our job in the technology cybersecurity world for you.
And how do you implement those solutions when you work with a roofer? How do you implement that? What is the implementation process?
It's really understanding each user, what the requirements are. And Jacques, you're the C-level of your company. You're probably going to have a little higher level access than the other people in your organization, your order entry, your dispatch. Everybody is going to have a different level. You're going to help define that. You and your crew are going to tell us, well, how these people will be managed. And from that point, it's really a push through the internet once we know who's getting what access. And it's important. We want to make sure we're not sharing the wrong type of access to somebody. Like I said, in order entry, do they need to see the payroll in Jacques' company? No, that's not their business. We keep that out of there. Nobody needs to know that Jacques is infinitely wealthy. He's got a lot of money. That's none of our business. So our job is to separate that data, but manage it and then back it up safely and securely, because anything happens, we have a clean backup somewhere else. We can restore you in a matter of minutes or an hour or so to make you back whole, just like that. So it's
Wow.
just a push through the internet. That's all it is.
Wow, pretty simple.
Yeah.
So what are the future trends in cybersecurity?
Wow, that's the ultimate question, because it's not getting better. I can promise you that. We're seeing things that, around the pandemic time, so going back 5 or so years, we'd get the call once a week. Somebody got hacked. Help us, please, whatever. We're now at the point it's a daily occurrence, which is really scary. So it's probably happening 7 times more than it did years ago. And these are more deadly attacks. And when we talk about this, this is literally attacks against us. There are countries, third world countries, that have unlimited funding. Let's go hack the folks here in the US. And because of that, this is relentless. It's going on constantly. And no, you cannot sit in front of your computer and say, oh, that's a good email, that's a bad email. We don't have that chance anymore. I'm not going to cover much today on AI, artificial intelligence, but that's being used against us, not only to speed up the amount of hacks, but also to imitate voices and clone personalities and what have you. So that call that sounds like it's coming from your employee is really just something fake. Or it could be with Jacques' voice. He's got a beautiful French accent, right? It's a French accent. Kind of, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I got the call that sounds like him, well, that's pretty good. And he wants me to go run to the local department store and get a bunch of iTunes cards. And
Yeah.
yeah, that's a very famous hack. And we're all talking about scams, frauds, etc. Well, educate your organization as well. But if that sounded like Jacques and he said, go get $1,000 worth of iTunes cards, and you run to the store, come back, and you call what you thought was Jacques, but it's really a scammer, and he's taking your codes off of that, you just gave away $1,000. And by the way, if it's 1,000, you're lucky. Usually it's 5, 10, $20,000 worth of fake cards. and that money's gone. It is out of the country, bam, and that account shut down. They already took care of you. So things like that are making this difficult. To address the original question, where do we see this going? It's not getting better. It's getting much, much worse. So from an awareness perspective, we're going to have to help, and we will help train your employees. And these are simple little quizzes. You'll take them, you'll see, how people did. And then a week or two, a month later, we do some fake, what we call phishing attacks. Let's see if your employees fall for it. We'll come back to Jacques and his team and say, all right, 9 of the people were great, but one person keeps falling for this. So we spend more time with that 10th person to make them aware, stop clicking on this stuff. Because we're just, at that point, we all become clickbait. We just click away. And we've got to stop doing that on text, on email, fake voice calls. The competition, which are the criminals, other parts of the world, are relentless and don't care because they have no moral code. And that's important to understand. They're thieves. And you guys deal with it in the roofing business just as well.
Love it. Do you have an offer to our roofers today?
So
What type of
what we'd
offer
like
do you
to,
have?
yeah, go ahead, say again.
Yeah, what type of offer? If they want to find out more about, how they are doing, if they need you, just maybe just find out, like, are they in danger, or are they well protected?
Right. So we would set up a brief call, 10, 15 minutes, pretty simple. What are you experiencing? Have you seen any problems? Is something not working? I mean, just a general overview. And then the next step is let's determine what users need. In the meantime, we could be scanning your equipment. We could be looking at it with your permission. We would get permission to kind of look and see what you have. You have the latest in software, you have the latest in operating systems. And by the way, as we record this thing, in a few days, Windows 10 for Microsoft expires. That's end of life next week, again, as we're
Yeah.
recording this thing. So you got to make sure you're on Windows 11. We got to make sure you have the right updates, and we manage all those updates for you. I don't want you touching them. That's our job, not yours. And every week we'll come back to you. Okay, these 3 things need to be updated. You tell us which one's more important, second, third, whatever it is. So this is a constant dialogue. That's what we do for our clients. And we have clients in legal, nonprofit, healthcare. So it's a wide range. It's not just roofers. But believe me, roofers are just as essential as we are. We do different things, but we do it somewhat similar to keep your business, your home, safe and secure without water and weather coming in on top of you. It's kind of difficult to operate a computer when water is just dripping on it. It just doesn't seem to work, and we can't figure that part out. I don't know what the problem is.
I love it. So basically, everybody is in danger at the end of the day, right?
Right.
The bad news that we are all in danger because of AI out there. The good news is that there are people like you that had top-notch experts that can really make sure that when business is safe and when business stays open and it's not jeopardized by any type of hacking whatsoever. And that's what you guys do best, right?
Right.
Okay,
Right.
cool. So what we're going to do is in the description of this video, we'll put a link there so they can
Mhm.
connect with you. And do you have a final word here to our roofers?
Sure. So again, we're talking consultation, no charge on that. We will help train your people. We can send out training videos. They're very short, 2, 3 minutes apiece. Take a few, as much as you want. We'll follow up. We will also weekly send you free tips, and that can go to anybody you want to have these tips. Or I send it to Jacques as the leader of this company. He can send it out, whatever he prefers. So that's the stuff we will do with no charge to get you rolling. My CEO recently came out with a book on primarily cybersecurity, but AI is a dedicated chapter in there. You can buy it online off of Kindle and Amazon for $3. The money we make goes to a charity, so we're not making money on that either. We're here to help. I'm a community advocate, very proud that we can help anybody, anywhere. to be safe, secure. That's what we worry about because people are falling for this. I also speak at schools. I talk to young adults. I speak at senior centers because the local police bring me in to say, how do we prevent this from happening? And it's primarily education and awareness. If you hear me and you go, oh, he said not to do it, please don't do it. If you're not sure, get a hold of us. Don't do it if we said, that sounds a little suspicious. Scam artist, I've gotten better. The logos, the pictures, well, it looked real. Yeah, but it was fake. But it's getting better because of AI. So come talk to us. We're happy to help. We're thrilled to be able to be part of this podcast in the roofing industry with Jacques here.
Well, thank you so much for accepting my invitation. And I learned a lot from this. And I'm sure that when people are going to listen to this, they're going to say, I didn't know that I didn't know all of that. So thanks again, Glenn, for showing up and being part of this community. And have a great day. And I'll talk to you very soon.
All right. Be safe out there.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks.